I want to bring in American Petroleum Institute CEO Mike Sommers. Mike, it's great to see you. There's so much happening in the energy markets right now. Where to start? But the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve, the SPR, we're now below 300 million barrels. That's the lowest level since 1983. I want to get your take on that because the U.S. Drawing 6 million barrels from it in just a week. Are you concerned about the SPR?
Well, everybody should be concerned about where we are with the SPR, but we have to remember that the reason we're here today with these low volumes, yes, is because of the Iran war. And President Trump made a key decision at the beginning of this war to negotiate releases of strategic petroleum reserves all over the world during a time of geopolitical and energy crises. But at the same time, we have to remember that President Biden brought the strategic petroleum reserve down to historically low levels as well. And that had nothing to do with the geopolitical crisis and everything to do with politics. So we're here because of two reasons, because of a really bad political decision that was made by the previous administration. And two, we actually used the SPR for the reasons that it was intended during geopolitical energy shocks.
Yeah, not to deal with the inflation that previous administration caused, the Biden administration. I want you to listen to this. Maria had on Dan Yergin, and he talked about kind of the overall change that we have seen when it comes to the United States and our place in the world of global oil supply and our role in the oil story of the world. Watch part of this interview.
I think certainly that one of the biggest changes is a dramatic change in the position of the U.S. We went from being the biggest importer of oil in the world to the biggest producer of oil, biggest producer of gas. That has been a source of stability. And that's why, although we've seen higher gasoline prices, it would have been much worse if we had been back in our old situation. It would have then really been a disaster.
Yeah, of course, Mike, talking about the overall, story of the conflict with Iran, but how much stronger we are as a nation was his point. I think it's a very a good point to make.
No, it is absolutely the key point. We would not be able to deal with the situation that we're dealing with today in the Middle East were it not for the fact that the United States is now the largest producer of oil and natural gas. And again, President Trump does deserve credit here for a lot of the policies that they've put in place during this crisis. First of all, before the crisis, their focus on new development here in the United States. We had record lease sales in the Gulf of America and onshore. Alaska is back open for business. They put in place regulatory reform that has been great for the American oil and gas business. So the one big beautiful bill, the tax bill that they put into place, finally put tax treatment into place that encouraged American production. So the President Trump and his administration get a lot of credit for setting us up to deal with the kind of situation that we're dealing with in the Middle East right now. You're also starting to see at this time some new policies going into effect. You're starting to see the Middle East actually build out new infrastructure, particularly pipeline infrastructure, so that we don't have to deal with this one choke point in the world in the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, you're right. We have seen that with several of our Middle Eastern allies. I've got Mark Tepper on side. He's got a question for you.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, I'm a stock guy, so I'm very bullish on American energy right now. And I agree with your pipeline comments. Diamondback Energy, as an example, down in the Permian, low-cost shale producer, break-even price of around $40 a barrel. We need to replenish the SPR, which is super important. But Maria was actually interviewing the CEO of Diamondback Energy. I believe it was last fall. And one of the comments he made caught me completely off guard. He said that while they were, trying to drill and produce oil, there weren't enough pipelines for them. They were actually discarding all of the natural gas that they were coming across, which, as we start to look at AI data centers and things like that, natural gas is, that's a very quick, efficient, low-cost way for us to power those. What do we have to do to improve the pipeline situation here in the U.S.?
Well, you're exactly right about that. In fact, I'm going to be in Midland, Texas this coming Monday. Diamondback is one of our great API member companies, and Kees Van Hoft is a really smart, focused CEO who knows this business very, very well. What's going on in the Permian right now is that pipeline capacity is full. but oil production and natural gas production continues to grow. What we need is more pipeline capacity. So Texas, I know, is focused on that. At the federal level, one of the things that we really need to focus on is comprehensive permitting reform in this country so that we can actually build pipelines from where the energy is to where it is needed most. That is the biggest thing that is holding back American oil and gas right now. And during a time of political crisis, geopolitical crisis all over the world, in the Red Sea, in the Black Sea, and in the Strait of Hormuz, we need to be able to move this energy from where it is to where it needs to be. And the key to that is getting Congress to finally focus on getting comprehensive bipartisan permitting reform done and getting it done as soon as possible.
Well, and the backdrop of all of this in our country is the AI data center demand that's happening here in the States. It's surging. There's a lot of questions about whether or not America can actually build the power that's needed to support it, because a lot of the electricity requested for these new data centers may not materialize. A lot of these projects have grid problems, infrastructure constraints, and then you also have a lot of this not in my backyard, mentality that's out there in a lot of these communities. Do we have the energy infrastructure to support AI?
We do not have the energy infrastructure to support AI. It's one of the reasons why we have to get these pipelines built. In places like Texas, in the Permian Basin, near Midland and Odessa, Texas, you have a lot of natural gas. In fact, natural gas prices have actually gone negative oftentimes throughout this year because they just don't have the pipeline capacity to move it. So if you can't get those pipelines built, you're never going to be able to win the AI race. And it is so important for our economic future that we win that race with China. And that includes data centers. We need more transmission lines. We need more pipelines. That's how we power the future and how we win this race.
And why you're making the point about permitting, because it's so important. Yeah. Mike Sommers from API. It's great to see you, Mike. Thank you so much for being here.